AM. Shadow Gang.
Family, what's up? What's up? We back in this. We back in. We back behind the camera. We back doing reactions. Um, I had to bring it back to the fellas because I got a question about this one right here. Common, the rapper Common, that I slayed and strayed all over the Hollywood industry. Tiffany Haddish, he broke her heart. You feel me? It says in the title, says Tiffany Haddish reveals why Common is the worst man she ever dated. So let's see what Common did and why she came to that conclusion. Check this out.
Cause he broke my homegirl heart.
Who?
Tiffany.
Oh my goodness.
Tiffany Haddish is my best friend.
Yeah, but I mean, Common had a lot of girlfriends. I'm sure a lot of people think he broke their heart.
Facts.
I know you don't know them like you know Tiffany.
I know a couple of them actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, he broke her heart, man.
I was disappointed. I was very disappointed. I was like, oh, okay. Because that's not what you told me, but okay.
Child, y'all need to get up in this mess because Common done overplayed his hand when it comes to Tiffany. Baby, he chased her, got her, dumped her, and quickly moved on to the next like she was nothing. And she is still so down bad over the way Common treated her. Tiffany is
But you know, man, I hate to use the word we hunters, and that's what we do. Because all men are not like this. If you got options out there and you don't get your satisfaction out of one person and you got options, the female may be a casualty. But you can't play with them like that. You should play with nobody's heart like that. I think, Tiffany portrays to be a sweet lady. And she definitely was looking for love, looking for her man. So I guess she thought she found her confidence. See what she has to say.
completely done with him going on talk shows, saying he's a changed man, hanging around Jennifer Hudson, acting like he's God's gift to women, and she just has horrible things to say about him.
Girl, he never gave me no damn earrings. He probably gave those to Jennifer.
Ever since they confirmed their relationship last year, Jennifer Hudson and Common haven't given us nothing but realness. Well, at least as far as eyes can see. He showed up to her talk show with a bouquet of flowers, and they've been seen out and about together looking all loved up and what.
But they've been kicking it for a minute. Sometimes you just, I don't know, it's just, I can speak from my standpoint. I've been there, done that a few times. That loving feeling, that initial feeling, I hate to use lust, but that initial feeling, that new feeling of a relationship, a lot of times that can become addictive, you feel me? And you get to a point where you're with somebody and it feels like it's more routine and you guys are not really doing anything exciting. Sometimes you feel like you're being taken advantage of or taken for granted. And then it's like there's no enthusiasm no more. Shit. Sometimes you go out and you look for that initial feeling. That's why a lot of times you gotta be intentional about your relationships. You gotta make sure that both people are doing what they can to make sure both people are plugged in, enthused, and satisfied. And also do a temperature check maybe so often, so to make sure that is there anything I could do or vice versa, you know what I'm saying? So let's see what's going on with this.
Not. The serial dater even said that if he was ever going to get married and leave the streets, then J. Hud would be just the person that he would be willing to spend the rest of his life with. In his own words, she gotta have an EGOT, which is exactly what Jennifer Hudson has. An Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Heard you've been even out there talking about marriage, Karen. What's that about? I just happened to notice that.
I was asked about marriage.
Yes.
And I just answered honestly. I said, you know what? You told me a quote that your mother said, a man knows what he wants. And I was saying my true feelings about, listen, Jennifer is the person, if I should be married, it will be to Jennifer Kate Hudson. I was just being honest.
He's been showering her with gifts and attention and the things that he's been saying about her. Baby, that man is in love. But for Tiffany, this is the same way he treated her. And the games Common is playing with Jennifer Hudson ain't gonna end well.
He might be the type of person that never like really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like a, he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower.
Tiffany is still very much heartbroken about the way her relationship with Common ended and how quickly public perception of him has changed since he got with Jennifer. It's like everyone and their mama is rooting for the couple and waiting for Common to pop the question, all while forgetting the way he moved when he was with Tiffany and the other women before her. Common has a way of getting whomever is hot at the time, and Tiffany's career was still popping when they met in 2018. He first
Hey, they used to say that about Diddy, in the sense to where whatever like artist that was popping at the time, that he would find his way to associate himself with them to keep himself relevant. I mean, I think it's by association, you get elevation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I never really heard it about somebody strategically doing it for relationships, because it's more the matters of the heart. I probably couldn't do it, but it's interesting. It's definitely interesting, but it's fellas out there that will, or people out there that will associate themselves with a person because of their status. Man, then I think about it. That does happen quite often. It really does. But it's, for me, I guess it's different here. A dude do it. You feel me? A lot of times it'd be a female or whoever is hot at the time. That's good to see.
met her at an Oscars event when he was hosting and then later decided to shoot his shot.
Tiffany shut me down.
I ain't shut you down. I'm just saying you gotta work for it, but that's all. You can't just have this looking
you
at
quickly,
you.
I ain't even get to say nothing. You told me you got your eyes on something else.
Okay, give us your best line, Common.
Yo, she is a princess, she a queen, and I just want to be able to explore and learn everything she needs so I can give her everything she wants as a princess.
But Tiffany wasn't really checking for him and dismissed any interest that he had in her until they shot a movie together in 2019. She was the lead in the film The Kitchen while Common played her love interest. And you know what they say, if the chemistry is good on camera, then it's even better when no one's...
That's what did it. That's what did it. You cannot tell me that like does not attract like. People say opposites attract, but it's something within those opposite people or opposite situations that's just a freaking like. You feel me? Them getting into close proximity, both in the entertainment industry, and seeing something that was very similar in both of them, attracted themselves, at least for a little while. In their case, in Karma's case, it was mostly love. So I think Tiffany was really looking for something, you know what I'm saying? So I hate that it happened like that, but
was looking okay. I mean, Common really put in work to get Tiffany. He was buying flowers, taking her on dates, really giving her all of the signs that he was serious and looking to settle down.
But that's what you do in the beginning. That's what you do. You buy these females whatever, the smallest stuff. You listen to their conversations. The smallest thing. If they like peanut butter cookies, you bring them peanut butter cookies. If they like smoothies from Smoothie King, you go get them Smoothie King. You know what I'm saying? But that needs to happen not only in the beginning, but throughout. You know what I'm saying? Throughout. It cannot stop. Once you start something, you can't stop. That's why when you get a relationship, you have to be the authentic you. You have to be who you are. Give that person you with an opportunity to see exactly who you are from the start. That way, you don't have to backtrack, or you don't get tired of being a person that you've showed up as. You know what I'm saying? If you're not that person. If you are that person, easy work. Just be who you are and keep it moving. But both people just stay the same and be who you are. That way you can stay together. But if you don't stay the same and things start changing and you're not who you say you are and you stop doing the shit you normally would do when you got the person, Splitsville. It just happens that way. It's going to happen up here first. You feel what I'm saying? Then this right here be guarded, and then adios amigos.
She's a wonderful woman, a queen, and just a beautiful person, man. I just care for her a lot, enjoy her, and I'm grateful to have her in my life. So, yeah, I'm happy.
But when they finally became an item, Tiffany was very excited and happy about the relationship. You could tell, you could see it all over her face. She felt like she had finally found the one. But what she didn't know was that Common was using all that therapy speech he knew to really get her to trust and depend on him. I mean, he had helped shave her head, gave her feedback on her jokes, and communicated with her whenever they had an issue. Common was the first celebrity she had ever messed with, and she often said that the relationship was the healthiest that she had ever been in. And honestly, Common also looked really happy with the way that things were going.
Like, she is a really incredible human being, and you know, the more I get to know her, I just see how dynamic she is as a person, how intelligent, how selfless she is.
Tiffany was so enthralled with the relationship that she said that she was open to a proposal from him and that he should pop the question by gifting her an apartment. She was ready to settle down. And from the things that Common had to say to and about her whenever he went on interviews, Tiffany thought that they were on the same page about that.
He was just persistent. He was persistent. Like, I love his art, what he does, but he wasn't necessarily, not necessarily all the way my type. But he grew on me.
He grew on you? Okay.
He showed me different self. Even if he can't tell if something is a joke or not, he asked.
He'll just be like, are you kidding?
A joke? Are you serious? I can't tell. Let me know. Like, and we have like real conversations about things, and I don't feel like, you know how sometimes you be in a relationship with a dude and you're like afraid to talk to him about a certain thing because you don't know how is he gonna blow up and start screaming and yelling, or is he gonna think you're doing something you ain't got no business, when it's like a genuine concern for you. But with him, like, I'll bring up something that's a genuine concern for me and he's like, all right, let's pause. Let me think about that for a second. And he expresses how he feels.
But Common evolved out of the relationship, and he gave the typical excuse of busy schedules and all of that, and claimed that the breakup was mutual.
To come to the understanding that, and we came to the understanding it was a mutual thing, essentially, that we came to the understanding that, like, this is what's gonna be best, like, for us to still continue to love each other and be there for each other, is to not be in a romantic relationship, because we won't be able to get to that.
But Tiffany wasn't having none of that. And
all right, before we get to the Tiffany part of it, what do y'all think about that? I mean, comment below. W or L for comment for getting up out of it. Was Tiffany toxic, or is Common toxic? I'm saying, listen to him. Like, he's very, very well rehearsed. Very good speaker, of course. You know, he's good with words, because that's what he do. You know, he's a rapper. Well, to me, he's a poet first. But he's very well spoken when it comes to that area. But I feel like, I don't know, when he was talking, I feel like that when you do something to him, or he sees something he does not care for or like, he leaves himself out. You feel me? You're like, hold on. This is not working right here. I don't like that you got up out on the left side of the bed and didn't put your house shoes on today. Oh, I don't like the fact that you put on black underwear tonight when I want you to put on red to match mine. That type is to me, I kind of get that from him, but man, I could definitely be wrong. You know, I'm just speculating. This is just entertainment purposes, so we don't know for sure what's going on. We just reacting. I just feel like he just hadn't found what he's looking for. And a lot of times, I could probably speak for myself. Sometimes you get yourself deep into a situation to where it's not really it's what you looking for something in this situation, but you go too deep into a relationship to find it. You know what I'm saying? So maybe like you met a person and you go deep with them quick, and so have these lengthy conversations, or just waiting it out to see exactly, you know, if they're gonna do some weighted red flags or things that you just can't deal with. But sometimes you go deep into a situation too quick. It's like, shit, I'm in too deep right now. Now it's time to back out. Well, Common case, if he goes too deep into a relationship like that, I feel like he has to cojones to pull himself out of it, no matter what no matter what the other person says. He's going to make sure that he is good, and if he can't deal with it, don't want to deal with it, he's out. That's just what it is. And he has the resources, the status to do all that too, with some high level females that he's dated, so, which is probably some people can't understand, but I kind of get it. No, I kind of get it. Now, whether it's right or wrong, who's to say? Because it's definitely up to that individual when they go to uh, interact with the person in that relationship. So it's, who knows? We just speculate. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. It could be something way deeper than what I'm talking about too. So let's just see exactly what else Tiffany has to say about Conrad.
Basically said that he was lying because there was nothing mutual about their breakup. Tiffany was sitting at home, thinking of her man and waiting for that rock when he called and said that he was done, and then ran to the media to act like he was some stand-up guy. She also added that it was more him saying, I think the relationship has run its course. And I was like, okay, like you gonna be a 50-year-old single man? Okay. There were no warning signs that he was unhappy and wanted out of the relationship. He didn't say anything, but he could have given her the courtesy of meeting up.
I mean, we don't say that. We sit back and watch you. The reason why men don't say nothing because a lot of times if they express their feelings, their concerns, it's met with abrasiveness or a high level of emotional unintelligence to a man. I'm not saying that everybody is emotionally unintelligent because a lot of people are, but he may have seen something there that he said, "Damn, if I say something about this, I would get this bam in my face." And a lot of times, no, something they don't want to deal with that. So you just sit back, you plot plans, say, all right, I'm gonna give it to this certain date or this certain time or this certain situation to happen. If it happens again, you know what I'm saying? That's sometimes how men think in relationships, especially if he get rid of you like that. It's something that was done. It was something that was done, and it's something that really turned him off.
Up with her in person to say that he wants out. Tiffany felt that he'd started backing away after she said she wanted to adopt children, but Common never said that it was something that he didn't want. Common also didn't tell her that he was going to be taking the breakup to the press.
See, Common don't have kids. He don't have children, and it's probably something she really, really wanted. Maybe the conversation may have went different if she wanted to have kids with him, or if she had to really showed out her cards up front. A lot of times, in the hunt, in the chase, that's what that's the most exciting part is the chase. But once you get them, and they, they all in your hands, and you got them, and you doing, I got this, I'm cool. The thrill is gone. So, they talk about kids? Oh, hell to no. Marriage? Oh, you trying to lock me down? And then you gonna throw back in my face, oh, you gonna be a 50-year-old single man? 50 these days don't matter, baby. He got money too? Yeah, that don't matter. You might well be 35, you feel me?
And she had to find out about it when her publicist reached out and asked what was going on. He ended up telling the press a completely different story from the things that he said to her. And that definitely rubbed our girl the wrong way.
That was wrong.
But this is a movie that we've seen before.
Right.
Common is afraid of commitment. Common has dated some of the most popular women.
I don't know about commitment. Maybe. My thing is, I don't think he's afraid of commitment. I think he's very particular to a point to where it's unbearable for himself. Because why would you go and get in these relationships with these women and why even try? Just be by yourself. Just chill. I mean, you could hey, let's go and have a few dates or whatever. Just kick it. Excuse me. He's getting into full-fledged relationships and going public with them. So why do all of that? You know what I'm saying? That's the question I got. Why go full-fledged in a relationship? Public, you got to deal with all these public breakups. You deal with public people. You deal with public, big time names, entertainers. So all that's a lot of work. So I'm curious of why he would do that if he's afraid of commitment. Because to me, each time you get into a relationship like that and you go public with it, it's a commitment every single time. It might not be a long-term commitment, but it's a commitment nonetheless. Let's see what he says.
Women in the industry: Erykah Badu, Serena Williams, Taraji P. Henson, Angela Rye, and all of the relationships crashed and burned right when they started getting serious. Common always dips out on his women.
Common got what he wanted. Common probably sit back and say, look at Serena hitting the balls. I wonder how that feel. Look at Taraji. And Baby Boy, did you see it, Baby Boy? I wonder how that feel. You know what I'm saying? Erykah Badu? I wonder how that feel. You feel what I'm saying? That's probably what he was thinking. He's like, shoot, he probably on a conquest. Because look at the names he conquered. You feel me?
When they're about ready to settle. And child, even Common accepts that he has a problem.
But to be honest, the pattern I found myself in and what was called love addiction, who my therapist broke it down, was like that feeling of being like, oh, I'm in love, and it's that honeymoon period that people call it. I was addicted to that feeling.
He admitted that once the initial fireworks were over.
Well, what we just talked about, the initial feeling, that's the best feeling. Everybody wants that feeling. But people don't realize, sometimes we don't realize that we have to make that feeling continue. It takes both people to do it, though. You feel me? I know I got a little accent going on, but thank y'all for bearing with my nasalness. But if you take anything from me, don't stop, don't quit, don't give up. I know I haven't really posted on this channel in a minute, but I'm back at it. But I post a lot on TikTok, and it's been really cool. So, but I'll make sure I'll be back. I'm back here as well too. So let's just start from here. But for him, what do you think? What do you guys think? That initial feeling where it all feels brand new and you just so head over heels with this person. The people that haven't figured out are the people that's been married for like 30, 40, 50 years, over 10 years. For long lengths of time, because they continue to renew their selves in each other's eyes, and that's what's important. But it takes two people to do that. You get one person that has a mindset of, all right, I'm going to renew. I know what it takes. I'm intentional about my person, but if the other person is not reciprocating the same action to the one that is doing it, that becomes a problem. It becomes a huge problem, and that's how relationship burnout happens and occurs. It could definitely get to a point to where you burn it out in your relationship with the person that you're with, and yeah, well, you can't, yeah. I'll leave it at that. Let me finish this video.
With his previous relationships that he would just dip. Common also specified that he was addicted to love and not intercourse, and that he was usually solely obsessed with the pursuit in early stages of a relationship, and eventually gets bored and drops everything. It's honestly a miracle that he's still going at it with Jennifer Hudson.
All due respect to all the women I've dated, because it's all love, but this is a really healthy and beautiful relationship, bro. And like, I'm just doing my best to keep God first and communicating, taking all the stuff I've learned as a human being, the failures I've had in relationships, on my responsibility. I'm taking that, learning from that, growing from it, using all the therapy, all the understanding that, man, let me enjoy moments. And also, this life is about creating happiness and creating joy and creating love and like embracing the grace that exists. So this is somebody, and it's something, man. I mean, if I'm going to get married, it's to her.
Wow.
That's simple as that.
And I see Pete Rock smiling every time you talk about her. He's smiling like he might know something that we don't know.
I don't know nothing. I just like it. I like to see them. You know what I'm saying? Together, it makes me feel good.
And this has put Tiffany all the way in her feelings. Right from the start, Tiffany had that little voice in her head telling her not to go through with it, and Common wasn't the right man for her. But the way he loved, bombed, and pursued her, she pushed her intuition to the side. And now people are saying that he's trying to string Jennifer along.
Let's go back to Tiffany real quick. Um, like I said before, she was right in her intuition. She was absolutely right. But he saw her as a challenge, as a challenge. I can't say like, all right, I'm in his head knowing, but it's from just the man's standpoint. That was a challenge. That was a challenge. Oh, she pulled it back. Let's continue to pursue to see how far we can go with it. But once she gave in, that excitement was over. That was it. I mean, at least the height of it, of that excitement was over. But now you gotta, you look and see, all right, how far can I go with this? And if he can't see him going a certain distance with her, that excitement keeps dropping. So it's unfortunate. But Tiffany was right from the jump. So she was right in her intuition. So ladies, if you're out there, definitely listen to your intuition, which is usually your better judgment. You guys got probably a better heightened sense of intuition than men do. We just go do stuff that we don't know why the heck we do stuff, which is the oddest thing. But as you get older, you mature. But you ladies are more mature than we are. For the most part, not everybody, because I ran into some slouches. But for the most part, you guys are more mature than we are, earlier in age. But the good thing about men, when we mature, you know exactly what we want. We're not playing on games. And what it is exactly what it is. So whether it's a good side of the coin for whoever we're dealing with or a bad side, that's just what it is. You know, so you almost guarantee and count on that. So if a older man shows you his hand and who he is, that's usually who he is. Usually we're past the games. Like for me, when I show up, motherfucker, that's who I am. So let's continue, guys.
Saying that she's the best thing that ever happened to him and that he's ready to settle down. And these were the same things that he was saying to Tiffany to get her to trust him. She even shaded Common with cryptic posts.
Look at this crap. You don't want that, fellas. You do not want that, because you want to be with somebody who knows your every intent and has built a level of trust with you and relationship enough to where if you do get to a point where you can't do for yourself, that you guaranteed to know, I got somebody who's gonna take care of me. I don't have to worry about them going nowhere. You feel me? So, but that's funny. That is funny.
About men settling down when they are already nursing home candidates. And it looks like Common is really going to be one of those men that marries just to get an in-house nurse, because he said himself that he only likes the experience and the feeling of being in love without actually putting in the work for the commitment. And trust me when I tell you, the internet believes that this ship is doomed to sink. Let's hope that J Hud has a vest and lifeboat. His name is Common for a reason, because it's common for him to move from an ex to the next. Common is the male version of Jennifer Lopez, always have to be in a relationship and can never be single. I think he only continued pursuing Tiffany because she rejected him and his ego couldn't take that. Once he got her, it wasn't exciting anymore. But what do y'all think about the way Common treated Tiffany? And be honest.
Well, what do you guys think? Do you guys even give a damn? We just here at entertainment purposes only, and we just reacting. You know, you look at certain situations in life, it's always a lesson somewhere to be learned. So, for ladies, there are men out there that do want to get married and be committed. But there are also men out there that like to chase. They like to chase, they like that conquer, they like that challenge. So be careful. And men, same thing for us. You know, there's females out there with the same mentality, because the mentality these days are very similar, which is the oddest thing in the absolute world. But some people want traditional type relationships. You can't have traditional type relationships where the mentalities are the freaking same. That does not work. Somebody has to be something, and the other person has to be the other. So you bring you guys together to be one. But anyway, Till the next time, my lovely, lovely people, we back up in this joint, reactions, and remember, my reactions are only for entertainment purposes. And if you're here for the first time, please like this video. Please join the family, and we'll be back in this joint very soon. Love ya. Peace.